Say amen. Amen. Say amen. Oh la 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 la. Amen. 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 Family go better. Oh. Amen. Amen. We go better. Oh. Amen. We go better. Oh. Amen. 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 Family go better. Oh. Amen. Everything go better. Oh. Amen. We go better. Oh. Amen. We go better. Oh. Amen. 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 This year, everything will work out for our good. Amen. Yes, so amen. This year, everything we do, this year, amen. Woo! Welcome to another edition of Marriage Clinic Live. How are you today? I remain your host, Morlai and Opoti. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really do appreciate every one of us, and I hope we are all enjoying our weekend and compliment of the season. Christmas is almost here. I mean, it's just a few days down the line. Merry Christmas to you and to your family. We are grateful to God for life, that we are all alive, we are well, we are healed and healthy. It's a privilege for us to see yet another Christmas. I mean, it has been God throughout this year, so we do not take His grace for granted, and we are grateful for all that He has done for us. I'll quickly like to appreciate all our members. Thank you so much for being with us throughout the year. Some have been with us since last year when we started. Thank you to every one of you for your time, for your comment, for knowledge sharing. I mean, for all those things you do, for those likes, for those comments, for the truth that some of us speak. Thank you to you all. You don't know the magnitude of what we do. As a matter of fact, lives and minds are being transformed. We are opening the eyes of people to the realities of our times, and it's helping many people. It's helping many families. Thank you to every one of you. And I'll quickly like to celebrate all our new joiners. During the week, we had well over 300 people joined us. I celebrate you. Oh, you're all welcome to Marriage Clinic, and I celebrate all our new joiners on YouTube as well. Thank you to every one of you. Please do feel free to leave us a like, a comment, and you can always inbox me in case you want to reach me to ask questions or to clarify issues. You can reach me on any of my social media, and thank you so much. So today we'll be looking at an interesting topic which I've titled Behaviors that erode love and respect in marriage. Behaviors that erodes love and respect in marriage. Now, quite a number of people believe that because it is marriage, because we are in marriage, then love and respect should be automatic. Love and respect should be given. Love and respect should just happen effortlessly. I mean, without you lifting a finger, without you being watchful about your ways, about your steps in the union. It should just happen. I mean, you just have to respect me, and you just have to love me. It doesn't work like that. It's not given. It's not automatic. The fact that it's married does not mean those things are given. And I would like to start out with this simple illustration. For many of us who belong to one religion, on the other hand, you must have read in your holy book that for you to make it to heaven, where every one of us would like to go, that the first step is for you to give your life to God, to surrender your life to God. Now, many of us, we do that, but some forget that, see, for you to make it to that heaven, there are some things you can't be doing and be claiming you will make heaven. There are some things that are not expected of people, that are working towards making heaven. And that's why Scripture says that we should work out our salvation with fear and with trembling, which means that it doesn't stop at, oh, I've given my life to Christ. Oh, I'm now. No, it doesn't stop at that. See, you keep walking, you keep you will be watchful of your ways, you will be mindful of the things you do if you know you want to make it there. See, that is the exact replica that we have in marriage. In marriage, nothing is automatic. As a matter of fact, coming together, in holy matrimony and wedlock as husband and wife is just the first step. That coming together is just the first step. It doesn't end there. Now, for you to maintain marital bliss, for you to make it to that forever happily ever after, then there are things you also need to do. There are do's and don'ts. There are behaviors you must get rid of in your marriage. There are attitudes you must get rid of. There are some consciousness that you have to maintain as the wife, as the husband, to ensure that the fire of your love is not being quenched by your attitude, by your behaviors in that marriage, to ensure that respect is being maintained. Because as a matter of fact, many of us, when we started out in marriage, we started out on a good note. We started out well. When people see both of you, they'll be like, oh, these are lovely couples, lovebirds and all of that. But over time, you just realize, these people we thought they were lovebirds, they are no longer cooperating, they are no longer in agreement, they are no longer flowing. You begin to now wonder what is happening to their union, excuse me. And somehow along the line things fall apart and some even go their separate ways. So what went wrong? I mean, if it was in marriage, since they are in marriage, I mean, it should be given, it should be automatic. I mean, the love should keep flowing forever and the respect should just be there, should be given. No, it doesn't work like that. See, nothing in life just happens automatically. There has to be an action that makes it happen. So that is why I want us to look at these behaviors that can erode love and respect in your marriage. Is very, very important we look at it. Now, the essence of looking at it is for each of us to be mindful of them. There are so many of them, but I've tried to summarize it into 9 to 10 points, and I'll try to summarize it well, so that we don't spend too much time, on this video. And it's for us to be mindful of our steps, of our ways, of the way of how we do things, how we talk, how we speak in the union. That is the reason why we are discussing this, so that some of us can avert potential separation or potential divorce. Because don't ever think that it cannot happen to you. It can happen if you keep doing the wrong things, if you are exhibiting behaviors that are contrary to love, contrary to any respect. It can happen to you. You will just be surprised that so things have finally falling apart. And for us to prevent that from happening, for us to avoid that, that is why we are discussing all of this. So the number one point I pen down as behaviors that can erode love and respect in marriage is, the first one is not being on the same page with each other. Now, not being on the same page with each other simply means we don't agree on things. We don't, lack of alignment. We don't align on the things that matter most. Now, I'm sure some people will be quick to judge, or they will be quick to say, don't let me use the word judge, they'll be quick to say, oh, didn't you people courted? Didn't you people courted? After all, you courted. So how come you didn't see all of this before now? See, it's very easy to say that. The truth is, there are some people that they had distant courtship. Maybe husband is in Kafacha, wife is in Kano or Kaduna, and it's distant relationship. When they get to see, maybe they just spent few hours together, and they've never lived together under the same roof. And for some, for religious reasons, they've never had to live under the same roof with the spouse they were going to settle down with. Some never lived together at all. Now, in a situation whereby you both of you have never lived together under the same roof, I tell you it will be very difficult to know who they really are. Or maybe they've not lived with your parents or come visiting for holiday. You guys have not been under same roof to see how this person's character really is. I tell you, it will be difficult for you to know the true person until both of you get married and start living together. But the honest truth is, by then it will be too late, because they will just be springing up some unusual surprises that you could never have thought would happen, in your marital union. And that is why, see, it's okay not to agree, because recently I was discussing with some couples and they were like, see, we don't tend to agree on anything. We don't tend to agree. When I'm going towards north, he's going towards the south. Now, it's okay not to agree or not to be in alignment. However, you must agree on the things that matter most to the marriage. You must agree on the most important things, to the union. So, for example, as couples, you need to pen down and ask yourself, so what are the things that matter most to this our union? So, number one is what? What are those things that matter most? Ask yourself those questions. That without those things being present in our union will suffer. It will eat the rock. So you may want to pen it down. Number one, if this is absent, so let's say prayers, if prayers is absent, it will eat the rock. If finances is absent, it will eat the rock. If sex is absent, good morals. So you list it and you now say, okay, so see, my dear, even if we don't agree on any other thing, we may not agree on career, we may not agree on this, but you see, on these things that matter most to this our marriage, we must agree on them. On prayers, when we should pray together as a family, when we should study the word, we must agree on finances. Now, the things that matter most to me in my own marriage may not be the things that matter most to you in your own marriage. We will have different things that matter most to us, but pen down those ones that matter most to your own union. That the ones that, if they are not present, your union will eat the work. Now, when you list them out, both of you should sit down and come into agreement as to how you want to align, on those areas, because they are the areas that matter most, and your marriage must keep going. So, how to make sure that you align in those areas is for you to reach, compromises here and there, compromise here and there, compromise here and there, and before you know it, on just those things that matter most, make sure you align in those areas, even if you don't align generally on every other area. Now, another behavior that could erode love and respect in marriage is not meeting each other's needs. Now, when you don't meet each other's needs, see, it's bound to each person is bound to question why they are in the union in the first place when their needs are not being met, because they will now have this sense of unfulfillment in the union. They will not be fulfilled, and once someone is not fulfilled anywhere, even if it's at workplace, at home, when you are not fulfilled, you will lose interest in going to that place. You will lose interest in that thing. So, and that is how it starts. People begin to lose interest in their union. They begin to lose interest in their marriage, begin to lose interest in their spouse. It's because they are not finding fulfillment in that union. Because if you have fulfillment in it, I tell you, you will be running towards that thing. You will be running to that place where you are made to be happy, where you get fulfillment. You will keep running there. So that is how it is. Now, you don't expect your spouse to love you, and respect you if you are not meeting their needs. It's not possible. See, there will be resentment. Why? Because their needs are not being met. So it's natural, for them to resent and say, please, what is happening? You can't provide this for me. You don't meet my needs sexually. You can't satisfy me. You don't do this. You don't do that. Now, it's always good to listen to your partner, and don't wait until it's result into argument, into fight. Once in a while, when both of you are in a good mood, ask each other, my dear, are you happy with me? Am I meeting your needs? Am I pleasing you? Am I doing my part well? In what areas would you want me to improve? Ask this question. It's a form of assessment. It's like saying, oh, please give me my scorecard. Every one of us, when we go to school, at some point, you are expected to get results, right? You write exam and get the result. And marriage is like a school you will never graduate from. So once in a while, please ask your partner for your results, because they will know best what you are not doing well, what you need to improve on. But if you don't ask, you are throwing blind eye to everything. You're acting as if, oh, it doesn't really matter. See, I tell you, what will follow is resentment, grievances, tension, and at the end of the day you will not like it. So it's always good to make sure you are meeting each other's needs, and see, in those areas where you are inadequate, be open to each other. Let them know that, my dear, please, even though I can't meet up in this area, but see, these are the steps I'm taking to ensure that eventually I meet up, to ensure that I meet up eventually, but not you just sitting down not doing anything and and expecting them to live with it like that. No, it doesn't always work like that. Now, another behavior that makes a spouse lose love and respect for the other is allowing disconnect to become the norm or the trend. Now, when you allow disconnection to become the normal in your home, or to become the trend in your home, before both of you will tell each other, oh, I love you, I love you, you will hug, you will peck, you will kiss, you will hold hands. But now you don't do those things anymore, and none of you cares about it. None of you is raising it and saying, my dear, it's been a while we've hugged each other. My dear, it's been a while we've kissed. My dear, it's been a while we've had sex. My dear, it's been a while we've fondled, we've held each other's hands. What is happening? We are supposed to be husband and wife. We should be doing all these things often. Even if the other person is not paying attention, there should be one person that is mindful of what is happening in that relationship, that will be reminding the other person that, we've not done this, oh, we've not prayed together as couple in a while, let's do it. We've not done this together, we've not eaten out together, we've not gonna, one person must, it's better when both parties are conscious of this actually. But in a situation whereby none of the party pays attention to this, both of you just allow this connection to be a normal thing. No one says I love you and the other doesn't care. See, it's only a matter of time. Both of you will start drifting apart, and before you know it, things could fall apart. And see, that is how it happens. So people will be wondering, how did I get here? How did I get here? See, it didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen in one day. It's a little here, a little there. It's all these little thoughts. It's been happening. It's been accumulation of things that you're not paying attention to, that no one is talking about, that everyone is throwing a blind eye to. Those are the things that aggravate or gravitate towards enormous issues that now start rocking the both of your marriage, and bringing serious tension and problems to you. So you don't want to wait before you pick out those things, and make sure you quickly address them. My dear, it's been a while you've told me you love me. I love you, and I like to hear you tell me you love me. Oh, it's been a while we've kissed. It's been a while we've pecked. It's been a while we've strolled together. Raise those things. It's been a while we've had sex. Come on, let's go out. Let's go somewhere. Just make your marriage interesting, lively, and before you just keep the fire burning. Otherwise, before you know it, you guys will just be dry, and things could fall apart. Now, another reason is allowing affection and intimacy to dwindle by neglecting each other. When you are neglecting each other, both of you are in the house, but you don't touch, you don't jam each other, you don't hold each other. Affection is beginning to die off. It shouldn't be like that. When you all are under the same roof, there should be a number of times you would touch, you would tap, you would do things, you would talk, relate, play. Don't fight, maybe argue, but if you are going to fight, no, it's fight of love, like just saying, oh my dear, oh you've not even done this in a while, or run around the house, or just play, do things, but please, you can't neglect each other and expect that everything will be fine just because you're married, and because, oh, God hates divorce. No, because a lot of people hide behind that scriptures that God hates divorce, and because of that they will not lift a finger. They will not do the right thing they are supposed to do in their marriage, and they will be shouting about, screaming over people's head, God hates divorce. Do the right thing. See, when you do the things you're supposed to do as a husband, as a wife, divorce will be far from you. That's what I tell people. But you are not doing what you're supposed to do, it will come upon you like a thief in the night. It will happen when you are not playing your role, when you're not doing your part. So neglecting each other would see the other person would naturally lose respect for you, because they will now see no value in you, because you are already neglected. They care less about you, about your existence, about your health. Whatever is wrong with you, they care less. Now, when that happens, the respect starts going off, dying off, sync with the love. Now, another reason is harboring resentment. Unspoken and unresolved issues poisons healthy relationship. See, when you are harboring issue, harboring resentment, not speaking now, you both of you cannot sit down and dialogue. See, it's a big problem. Those are the things that make spouses lose respect and love for each other. When you are harboring things, you keep things in your mind, unforgiven spirit, you hold them, you hold grudges, instead of you to say, hey, baby, this thing that you did, I don't like it. Oh, please, there is a way it hurts me that I can hardly sleep. I think we need to address, just talk, speak out your mind. Let he or she know that, see, this thing you are doing, I don't like it. And both of you should devise means on how to adjust, on how to prevent a reoccurrence, rather than you fighting over everything, keeping malice over everything, keeping grudges. When I hear husband and wife keeping malice for days, for months, I'll be wondering, what is happening? Because me, I can't sleep. When something is, I can't sleep. Oh, I can't. Rather stand up and go over and say, my dear, what's going on? What's happening? I noticed when this happened, our moods change, everything changed. We are no longer into each other. What's going on? Now, we talk about it and resolve it. That is how adults should behave. Now, when people are growing older, it is expected that some petty things should drop off you. But when you go into the relationship holding grudges, keeping malice, you will destroy the union and nothing will get resolved. Now, another behavior that people exhibit in marriage that makes your spouse lose respect and love for you. See, and this one, I will talk about this one, is not dealing with issues. You are not dealing with the issues, rather you are busy attacking the personality. There is an issue on ground. Instead of you to deal with the issue, you are busy attacking the personality. So, for example, the post we put up about the man that gives wife 200 naira, pregnant woman, 200 naira to feed herself every day. Now, when we had the opportunity to interact, and I said, why are you doing this? Imagine the explanation that, oh, please don't forget that 200 naira in 2017 is different from 200 naira in 2020. As a matter of fact, 200 naira in 2017 is a lot of money. She's simply wasteful. She's simply extravagant. She's simply expensive. She cannot manage 200. Excuse me. You should be addressing the issue, which is lack of finance in your home. Your inability to provide adequately for the home. How can a pregnant woman feed on 200 naira, 200 naira, even 200 naira in 2015 cannot feed a child? How much more in 2017? So rather than you dealing with the issues, you are busy attacking the other person, attacking the personality. For how long will you do that for? I mean, mature people will deal with the issues. What is the fundamental issue? what is causing all this our fight? The fundamental issue is lack of funds. So if it's lack of funds, how can we solve it? How can we make sure we have extra funds in our home? What can we do to make sure our income goes up? What can I do as a man to ensure that income keeps coming in? Those are the things you should be addressing, not attacking the other party, that is laboring, that is working and earning income, to support the home, that, oh, she's a spendthrift. No, leave that person. Focus on the one that is affecting you, which is your inability to provide for your home. You should be thinking as a man and devising means on how to provide income and make resources available in abundance for your home, even if it's not in abundance, but make sure it's adequate. They should not be going to bed hungry. A pregnant woman should have food. I mean, food in her tummy, at least. Even if you can't do 3 square meals, she should be able to eat 2 times a day, and she should be able to feed well. So please, not addressing issues but attacking personalities, see, it will make you lose respect. The other person will not respect you, and it will erode love. Love will be eroded. Those are natural things. So stop justifying your mediocrity. Stop justifying your laziness by attacking the other person. Rather, deal with the issues that you have. If you had the issue, deal with what you are battling with. Deal with it and stop pointing finger at the other person. Those are the things that split up marriages fast. Now, arguing and fighting to win. When you argue to win, you're arguing to win, you want to win, no. See, there are some things me I don't have energy for. At times I just tell myself that, I don't have energy for this. That is the honest truth. Arguing, I don't have energy for it. Once I state my points, and I state my point in different, and yet you don't compare. I'll just say my day, no energy. I don't have energy for this, and we will turn it into laughter, and we will close the chapter. Maybe another day we will revisit it, and somehow we will become clearer on how best to go about it. But you fighting, arguing to win, please, you don't need it. Now, lying about your financial position or your financial status, those are the things that will make you lose respect before your spouse, that will make love eroded. See, someone was telling me that, we can't be on the same level with you now. Don't be comparing her. See, the truth is, before we got to this level where we have, by the help of God, I've also earned 30,000 in a month. I've also earned 40,000. I've also earned 80,000, and I know how I was prudent with spending in those days before I got to the level where God has put me now. Now, even though I've not gotten to where God is taking me to, well, the point I'm trying to make is, see, how you manage your funds and your resources matter a lot in marriage. And as couples, you should be open. See, if you are the type that all you earn is 60,000, let your wife know that, see, 60,000 I'm earning, so that they will not be asking you for things of 600,000 naira. They will not be telling you to come and buy them something of 250,000 when they know you are earning 60. You see, when you are open, a good woman will understand. Same thing with a woman too. When you're open to your husband about finances, there's really nothing to hide, really, because I always say that we will not take this money to heaven. So why not be open, be transparent? Except if it's the dubious type that keeps defrauding, then you should keep your financial information and details away from such a man. But if it's the good man, the honest man, I mean, let him know what you are earning. Both of you should plan with it. Don't ask for things his salary or his income cannot support. And if you must have that thing, then you should be the one to put down the money. Yeah, that is how it should be. So stop lying about your financial position, your financial situation. See, if you can't afford something, it's better to go to your spouse in humility, not in arrogance. And be using Oboju, strong head or strong eyes, or how did they say? I'm using Oboju for them. That, after all, I've been the one doing this. No, just say, my dear, please. For now, I don't have the money for us to do this. If you have it, please use your money. Or you say, my dear, this is 5,000. This is all I have. Take as my own contribution towards the baby things, as my own contribution towards feeding, as my own contribution towards this, towards that, but not that you will be fighting over everything. Hey, if you don't give me list, hey, if you don't do this, if you don't, please, we are grown up. Life, we have more important things in life to do or to use our mind for than for us to be arguing over some of these things. Money should, even though money causes issues, but the wise couples have a way of doing things together so that money will not be an issue. You know, if I know people that they don't, their total income together is no more than 100,000 and they don't fight over money. Why? Because they plan and they live within their means. So, and they are open, they don't lie about their finances. So be open to each other, don't lie about your finances. So I'm going to stop at and pettiness and not praying together, working together, or talking, communicating with each other. Now, pettiness is another thing that makes one your spouse to lose respect for you. When you are pettiness, everything you must talk. When a man talks too much, talk, it's a problem. Your wife will lose respect for you when you fight with her over everything. When you, as a woman, you don't know how to talk to your husband, you just talk anyhow. You don't know that you have to talk in an acceptable manner to a man. You don't just talk to a man anyhow. Now, when you don't know all this thing, when you are petty, you fight about everything, you pick on every little thing, things that should not matter. See, all those things will make you lose respect for each other. It will erode the love you both have for each other. Before you know it, both of you will look like, please, this person is a pain in my neck. It shouldn't be now. When you don't pray together, when you don't communicate, when you don't even study the the holy books, whichever religion you belong to, when you don't study and walk the talk that you are reading there, when you don't do that, it has a way of also, it has a way of making you lose respect for each other over time. Because see, there is something prayer does. It holds the hearts together. But when both of you don't pray together, when you don't communicate, when you don't talk, how would the hearts be knitted together? Rather than it being knitted together, you guys will be drifting apart. So I would like to stop here because I think I've said a lot. Please, let's watch this video, let's share. You can leave us a comment, a like, and we would like to hear from you. I would like to say Merry Christmas to you again. Please, you and your family do enjoy your Christmas. We love you. And for the Christmas food basket, we promise you will surely get it from tomorrow by God's grace. I'll make it a duty that it goes out tomorrow. Thank you to every one of you. I remain your host, Malai, and over to till we'll see you again. I say bye bye.